Alright guys, so here we are. We're back at it again with another edition of the Widowmaker map guide series. We're taking a look at Dorado. So if you're new here to this series, I'm going to be showing you guys general Widowmaker spots, beginner Widowmaker spots, and rarely used Widowmaker spots. And of course, I'm going to be telling you guys how you guys can use these spots, giving you guys a brief explanation of the spot. You know, the series is mostly catered towards players that are struggling a bit with positioning with Widowmaker. That's the focus of the series. Let's take a look at the attacking side of things, alright? Obviously, this is a basic beginner spot. It can be really good when it comes down to, you know, getting an easy headshot. However, for the most part, keep in mind that the person that's on the other side most likely has an advantage of getting a headshot on you. So just keep that in mind. So with that said, we're going to just start off with a starting route. So you guys can take on this map with Widow, which is this little area right here. You guys can go all the way around. All the way around, that's right. And then you guys can just grapple on over here. You know, maybe there's some people over there that aren't aware of your position. They don't expect you to be here. They don't know that, you know, the enemy team has a Widowmaker, and you're going to surprise them. You're going to tell them, yes, the enemy team does have a Widowmaker, it's me, and I'm going to grapple shot you to death. Alright, sometimes there are teams that also stay over there, specifically in mobile team comps. Like for example, the team comps that are in the meta at the current time of me making this video: Brigitas, Reinhardt, Zarya, Soldiers, alright, Pharahs. Sometimes, you know, they're just not going to be able to get to you. So if you can get over here to this position, what are they going to do to you? Like breathe on you, like curse you out. Alright, you're going to have a lot of protection. You can also use the house as protection as well, as you guys can see right here. And of course, you got that health pack that you can go to, or of course you can just grapple onto the border side of this thing. And hey, healer, how are you? Heal me. Oh, you're not gonna heal me because you're at DPS Moira? Fuck. Alright, but yeah, you guys get the idea. You guys can also grapple on over to this side right here. Take out enemies that are over here. You know, scout out the area. And of course, also another thing that you guys can do as you're attacking with Widow is you guys can grapple onto this little area right here. And then you guys can have a general view of the entire map, okay? You can also do it on this side as well, except that this side is going to give you a better view of this little archway right here, okay? So that's something that you should know when you first start out with Widowmaker on this map. Also, furthermore, you guys can grapple onto this little thingy here, and then you guys can just grapple shot the people that are over there. I don't share a lot of grapple shots throughout the series, as you guys know, but I do want to share that one because it can help out a lot. Okay, this little spot right here, okay, also not used as much. You know, sometimes Widowmakers don't expect you to come through here, so you guys can also use this spot. Really good positioning. We're going to talk about this spot a little bit later on, though. Okay, a lot of Widows, they like to be over here. Okay, let's say that the enemy team doesn't have a Widow, or a Ryan, for that matter. Okay, let's just say that they're up there. You know, you can be up here. It's cool. If you need to back away, however, you're just going to die, right? Because you got a wall. So make sure that you're using the wall to your advantage. This is a really good accurate spot. If there's people on the high ground, look, if there's a soldier over there and you're here, he can't do anything to you, like at all. I mean, he can throw the rockets, that's true, but what if they're on a cooldown? You can just damage his team over here and he can't do anything to you. And then of course you guys can come through here or take him out, or you guys can just come through here and take him out too. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Why is that a phrase anyway? Alright, okay, the arch, okay, as you're attacking, okay, you guys can just shoot through this, or you guys can just use this spot right here. Gives you a lot of cover. Okay, and of course it gives you access to the team fight that's going on over there at this place. Okay, obviously team fight is going on over there. Your Ryan's over there smashing. Of course you can be all the way back here, or of course you can be all the way back here. Alright, now of course this spot right here, it's really good when the team fight is taking place somewhere around there, right? But what I recommend that you guys do is that you come over here, and then, you know, as time passes, like after you take a couple of shots, maybe you come over here. You want to be constantly switching positions, right? Because if you're over there, right, the enemy team's just going to know that you're over here like 100%. So if you keep moving, alright, you're just going to make it unpredictable for them. Look, let's say that there's a Widowmaker, right, like right here, right? You know, she shoots you, you shoot her. Okay, you want to come through here, and then you want to hit her up with a grapple shot. She's not going to be expecting that, okay? Watch out for this roof. Also, another thing that you guys need to be aware of in this map is this is a really good spot. Wait, did they patch this? No way. No way. What? Okay, so they patched that spot. I don't know why, but whatever. That spot right there was like really good to take out Widowmakers that were somewhere around here on attack. But I guess they patched it, so you don't have to worry about that spot. Because if the team fight is taking place a little bit further, that's what I was gonna say. You guys can also use this spot right here. You guys can take out the widows that are over here. They shoot you. You can come through here. You can change directions. You can take them out. Bam! Alright, you're done. Alright, we're taking a look at this little area right here also on how to utilize it. Keep in mind you gotta be looking out to this area right here, or you can just look to this area right here as the healers and of course the DPSs are coming into this area, and of course you can actually snipe them. Okay, before we move on forward to the other half of the first point, let's just take a look at the defender side of things, right? How is it for the defenders? Well, you can use this spot. It's really helpful. It's really good. You can take out the widows that are sniping from here, the Hanzos, the Pharahs, all that stuff. Okay, you guys can also use this spot. Okay, I prefer, you know, to use this little spot right here. I don't like to camp too much around here unless I got a barrier, and even if I got a barrier, I still like the spot right here. Okay, because I can look at this area right here, and I can look at this door right here, and if anyone that comes out through this door, anyone that comes through here, it's gonna get sniped. Sometimes Reapers like to come through here and they like to teleport right in front of you, so it's just gonna be an easy eat them. Alright, remember guys, positioning with Widowmaker is also sometimes about knowing what the enemy team can do to go to that specific position that you're on and how you can counter them. Okay, and that's one of the ways that you can counter a lot of Reapers. Obviously this spot is pretty self-explanatory. Alright, I get it. You know, it's pretty simple. It's pretty obvious. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. If the team fight is taking place somewhere around here, you got knocked down for some reason, you can also use this area as well. Okay, however, keep in mind this little underground area right here is a thing. Okay, now I just want to point out, right, like I didn't really point out this area with Widow, because for the most part with my experience, every time I gotta come all the way around this whole thing just to shoot some people over here, it's that my teammates are just getting completely destroyed, and we're most likely going to use the mats. But keep in mind, you know, that is something that you can do. You can come all the way around here and grapple on and take out the Widowmaker that's camping over here, and that could be a start. You know, that could be a start. That could be what helps you guys win the team fight. Okay, but this beginning area right here, not a lot of ideal great spots. Okay, just the basic ones that we all know and love. This spot right here is also very good, and of course when you're starting out with on defense Widow, this spot right here is also really good. I like to put a bit of mine somewhere around here. Okay, because you can watch this area right here, you can watch the bad guys, and of course if they're coming at you, you can just use the grapple and then of course come over here. Okay, you guys can also retreat all the way over here and then of course cross over to the other side, but I want to save this for a bit later in the video. Okay, last but not least, you guys can also use this spot when you're defending, and then of course you guys can also just come through here, or of course if you get jumped by Winston, you guys can just come over here and maybe just take out their shield. Now I maybe just shoot somebody over here. Now keep in mind, this area right here, too aggressive. Alright, I only recommend that you guys use these areas if your aim is like pretty great and you have a lot of confidence in your aim. I rarely use those spots, just because sometimes it just gets you killed. Okay, this beginning area right here in defense with Widowmaker, it's very demanding because there's not a lot of crazy line of sights that of course you can have. Well, we're taking a look at the attacking side of things on the first point. This area right here is really good. It gives you some protection from this little area, from that little top side, I think. Let's just call it top side. As you guys can see, of course, when you are attacking with your team, you guys can also use this line of sight. It gives you access to this area, that area over there. You guys can also come over here, and of course, you guys can also come over here. I'm not explaining these spots as much, guys, because these are just beginner spots, and it's pretty self-explanatory what you guys can do with these spots, right? You guys can also use these tents to your advantage. Okay, as you guys can see, I crouch over here, and suddenly my hitbox becomes a bit smaller, and the enemy team is gonna struggle just a bit to get me. Not a lot, but you know, it could be a difference between the McCree getting a headshot on you or not. Alright, so make sure that you use these tents to your advantage, and of course, make sure that you guys use these thingies to your advantage as well. Whether you're defending or of course attacking, alright, it's something that can help you out a lot. Alright, this spot right here, if the Pharah's over there, she shoots you, you have this whole thing as protection as well. Okay, let's say that you're attacking also. Alright, your team is quite pushed up in there, you know, let's say you come all the way from over there or over there, you can grapple on over here. Alright, and then just shoot your teammates. Alright, not your teammates, I mean the people that are shooting your teammates. There's a mega pack also back here as well. When you're defending with Widow, obviously this spot is really good. But of course, now we talk about this spot, right? If you guys are going against aggressive players, Genjis, you know, aggressive flankers, make sure you're planting a Venom Mine right here. Alright, also, You guys can also snipe Widowmakers that are coming from here, or players that are coming from spawn when your defense, when the match first starts out, I mean, or of course when the match is kind of like halfway through. If the payload is somewhere around here, and I see that my teammate wins the team fight, I'm gonna push this area right here, and I'm gonna see if I can kick someone, if I can kill someone as they come out from spawn. Really, really good thing to do, specifically when you're this late in the match. If the payload's somewhere around here, you guys can use this spot also. I think I already said that though. Okay, you guys can also use the well, the bottom of the well, as cover, as you guys can see on this first point. And that's pretty much it, right? Like, those are all of the general spots for Widow on this map. Let me get comfortable and let's move on forward to the second map, to the second point, I mean. Obviously, this area right here, really, really good with Widow. Gives you a line of sight to that entire place over there, as well as this, of course, line of sight right here. Listen, a lot of people like to camp up there. This is a grapple shot that it should honestly just be habit, okay? Like, this is a really good grapple shot opportunity. Make sure that, of course, you're going for it as many times as you can. You can also grapple on over here, and then, of course, have a better, I guess you could say, line of sight on it. So this little area right here, right? You know, this high ground area, really, really good when the payload is somewhere around here or around here, though. If the payload is like right here and the team fight is taking place right in front of you, I don't recommend that you're here, because it's gonna be a little harder for you to aim. And of course, while you have protection by just doing this, okay, you're gonna have struggle. You're gonna struggle a bit, right? Beyond the line of sight where your teammates are at, so you can see your teammates and you can see the bad guys. Okay, right here, it basically makes you a harder target to hit, because if people want to get to you, they gotta get, you know, through your team first. Okay, and on top of all that, you guys can watch this side, and that side as well. And of course, you can always throw a venom mine up there. Okay, so really, really good spot if the payload is over here. Sometimes I see the payload all the way over here, and there's Widowmakers still camping this spot. So make sure that you guys push. Okay, this high ground over here is very, very dominant on this map. That's why this high ground is here in the first place. Alright, you guys can snipe the enemies from this spot right here. It's gonna be a little hard, but of course it's something that, of course, you just gotta practice. Okay, line of sight to this area right here, very dangerous. That's what the venom mine's for. Okay, when the payload is pushed up a bit, you guys can use these windows as line of sights that are, of course, very, very effective. Okay, really, really good. We're gonna talk about this area in a bit. Let's say that you're here for some reason. There's a Winston following you. He's going up the stairs. He's gonna find you. Alright, you guys can just do this right here, and then you guys can just camp right here on this spot. The Winston's just gonna pass right by. He's gonna be like, what the hell? Where did this Widowmaker go? Alright, make sure that you grapple on somewhere around here, and then, of course, bam. As you guys can see, you're gonna be right there. Alright, when you're attacking, you guys can also use this line of sight right here. Really good. If there's no one on the high ground, this area right here gives you a lot of protection. It makes it really, really easy, of course, for the enemy Widowmaker that's over there to get you. Make sure that you're using this spot. This little area right here, very good for Widowmakers that are over there and don't really expect you. Sometimes Widowmakers are all the way over there as well, and this spot, of course, helps you out a lot. Okay, line of sight when the payload is over there. If you can't be over there, if you're being too focused over there, you feel like you're not doing a lot, and the payload's somewhere around there where I just shot. Alright, this is a really, really good spot. On top of all that, you guys can also just do a quick, you know, grapple shot. If, you know, there's like someone just moving too much, you just want to be a little unpredictable, bam, you know, just grapple shot them. Okay? Now, this is actually kind of sad. Back in the day, you were able to, like, stand still on here, but you can't. But one thing that you can do is you can do a grapple shot and kill the widows that are camping over there, like through here, as you guys can see. Because sometimes you come over here to this area, right? And then there's a widow camping over there, and you're not going to be able to get her, okay, by peeping through here. So what you can do is you can come through here, and then you guys can go for the grapple shot, because they're just not going to expect it. Alright, you guys can also use this little area right here. As you guys can see, those are the railings. Okay, you can shoot the feet of the widow, if of course you have you know, the aim. I can't go in here. Honestly, there's not like a lot of crazy spots in there anyway. Okay, as you're attacking with widow, you guys can also use this little cheeky spot right here. If the team fight is taking place somewhere around there, you guys can push over here. You guys can, of course, attack the healers that are going to be somewhere around here. Listen, don't do that. Alright, don't do this unless you're pretty sure that you can secure the kills, because this is not a good idea. Just putting that out there, and I just want to showcase the spot so you guys are aware of it. Let's take a look at the defense side of things, okay? This is obviously a really good powerful spot for Widowmaker. You need to be having control of this high ground. It's just really, really good. Alright. You guys can also position yourselves over here as the payload's coming through. Alright, position yourselves over here. This is also a really, really good position if the payload's somewhere around there. And of course, you guys can also come over here. Right? This spot that barely gets used. Okay, you guys can look at players that are going over there, and of course you guys have a line of sight towards here, and if the if the people are coming in, you guys can just use this health pack right here. Alright, so last but not least, you guys can use this spot right here. This is never used. I've never seen anyone use this spot. Okay, you guys have access to this area, and this area. The reason why this spot isn't as used is because it's like really, really easy to pick you off. But I guarantee you guys, this spot gives you the best line of sight, okay, on this entire first point right here. Alright, so make sure that you're using it to your potential, okay? If the payload is somewhere around there, okay, you guys can use this as line of sight. You guys can use this as line of sight as well. Whatever, it's not a great spot, but it's still one that I wanted to showcase. I already talked about this spot right here. We're going to be taking a look at this spot. If the payload's somewhere around here, this is a really, really good spot. You guys can retreat over here, or of course over here to get the high ground. Now I'm going to tell you guys something that I do a lot in this map. For the most part, I position myself somewhere around here, or of course you guys can also position yourself somewhere around here. And when you start getting shot at, you guys can come all the way over here, okay, like that. You have access to the people that are pushing, right? Because for the most part, if the payload's somewhere around here, the enemy teammates are going to be somewhere around there. Your teammates, enemy bad guys, I'm sorry, they're going to be somewhere on there. You're going to be somewhere, your enemies, Jesus Christ, your friends are going to be somewhere around there. I'm talking a bit fast because I don't want this video to be too long for you guys. Alright, look, your friends are going to be here, enemies are going to be here, you're going to be shooting them. But it's going to get a little rowdy pretty soon. So you guys just want to, grapple on over here. And then just have all of this as protection. Okay, but I want to talk about this other side, right? This right side that barely gets used also. You guys can come over here, right, as your team is attacking. Okay, and then you guys can take out the Widowmaker, the Annas, the Zenyatas, the Orisas that have their shields right there. You guys can just take them out easily. And I'm telling you, you're going to win a lot of fights by coming to this spot right here. This spot right here is very dominant. Alright, you guys can also use this spot right here. If you already shot from there, you missed. Alright, the enemy's aiming over here. You guys can use this one right here. You guys can even play super aggressively and just headshot the Orisa over there. If, of course, there's somebody on the high ground, there's nobody over here. Now, another thing that you guys can do is you guys can come through here. And then, if your team is sort of like winning the team fight over there, right? You guys can grapple on to this little area right here. I'm going to do it anyway. I want to showcase it. If your team is sort of like winning the fight, right? They're over here, they're taking out people. You guys can come through here, grapple onto this side, and take out people that are coming in from spawn. Alright, that's going to give your team a huge advantage, and it's going to like be able to easily control the point. Okay, another thing that you guys can do on defense is, let's say that, the fight is taking place somewhere around there. Alright, you're coming in from spawn. You guys can use this spot right here. And keep in mind, you can jump from one side to the next with the grapple hook. Alright, that's something that I do a lot on my Dorado plays. Every time I play Dorado Widow, let's say that I'm over here, I see a Winston heading towards me, I'm just gonna jump to the other side. And I just want to point out, what I'm doing right now, really, really good for Mercy players. If you have a Mercy on your team and you're kind of constantly do this with Widowmaker, you're gonna give that Mercy a lot of mobility, guys. So make sure that you're, of course, doing this, if of course it's necessary. Don't do it because you gotta do it. Alright. This spot right here, very dominant with Widowmaker when the fight is somewhere around there, because of course you can just drop down over here to take the health pack if you're taking some damage from a soldier that's shooting you, and of course you guys can also just come over here and then of course just shoot. As of course you're attacking, you guys can also use this spot. Alright, if the payload's somewhere around there, don't go through there, go through here. Alright, you want to be kind of unexpected with Widowmaker at times, okay? So make sure that you're using this spot to your advantage. You can also use the van, and we can also use the van as a line of sight. Okay, so let's take a look at the first side of things on this third point, point C. This spot, obviously very, very useful. Pretty self-explanatory, I'm not going to go too into it. This spot right here, very good for that high ground area. But a lot of players struggle, right, on Widowmakers that are over there, right, on that side. Honestly, that spot is just very, very dominant, and it's just going to come down to raw aim. For the most part, however, you can come around here and you can go through this area, and then of course just headshot the Widow, as you guys can see right there. It's something that, you know, might be a little difficult at times though, because then the Widow there can have like really good aim. You guys can also, you know, do it from over here. And of course, you guys can also do a grapple shot. You know, you guys can come from over here, do a grapple shot up here, and then of course you guys can take out the Widow. That's over there as well. Okay, it's mostly going to come down to this little spot right here. If I have to give you guys one power point, one power position that you need to have some sort of control over, it's this little area right here. The center of the map gives you access to the entire point C. Okay, so you want to have control over this, okay? As you're attacking, you guys can get this high ground, shoot people that are here. Although, however, I would recommend that if the payload's somewhere around here, that you're somewhere around here. Okay, it gives you a lot of cover, and of course a lot of line of sight. It gives you a mega pack, and of course you can also always throw a venom mine up there. If the payload's somewhere around here, sometimes I like to flank through here, because it basically doesn't cost anything. Let's say that I get a pick. Let's say that I don't get a pick. They start focusing me. All I have to do is just drop down, wait for my grapple to come back, and then just come back here. Alright, so make sure that you guys are using that flank a lot. When you're attacking also, this is a really good spot for Widow. Okay, really powerful. You guys can push on forward, and then I have access to these 3 lines of sights. Okay, you guys can of course, you know, shoot the people that are over there, shoot the people that are down here. Another thing that you guys can do is of course come through here, and then of course shoot the enemies that are over here. Alright, this is sort of like a flank, but you know, it's something that you do want to, you know, keep in mind, and maybe it is possible for you to do so. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Alright, for point C, we're gonna take a look at the defending side of things now. Okay, you guys can drop down here with the team fights taking place over there, the payload somewhere around there. You guys can take out enemies from here, then just grapple on over here. This spot is the power position for defense. If you are able to rock this spot, like, the enemy team's just not gonna be able to do much. Winston and a Genji can get you out of this spot, but it's gonna be kind of hard for them if your team knows what they're doing, and if your healers are positioned up here, your soldiers positioned up here. Alright, this spot is just really good overall. You have access to this line of sight, you have access to this area right here, you kind of have access to this thing right here. Alright, make sure that if you hear a grapple somewhere around here, aim at the sky, because that Widowmaker's probably coming in for the grapple. Obviously, as you're defending this spot, pretty self-explanatory. Alright, this one right here, this one too, you know, this one helps you out over here. This one right here gives you a line of sight to this little area. And of course, we also have this spot right here, also very good. Okay, now we move on forward to the last area for the defenders. You guys can grapple on to this little thing, and then you guys can just shoot enemies, as you guys can see. You guys can also do the lamp, as you guys can also see. And then of course, as you're defending, if the payload's somewhere around there, you guys can also come over here, and then of course just grapple on over here. Another thing that you guys can do is you guys can of course take advantage of this position over here, and then just crouch. And as you guys can see, you guys are gonna have a lot of cover, a lot of easy shots. You guys want to make sure that you guys also use this position. This position also gives you access to this little area right here as they're coming in from spawn. And you know, last but not least, if you want to be aggressive as you're defending with Widow, you know, you guys can just camp at this spot, or you guys can just, you know, camp at this spot, and if the enemy comes, you guys can just, you know, come through here, grapple on over here, and bam, you're basically right here with your team. I wouldn't really recommend it, but it's still of course something that you can do. Okay, a lot of Pharahs, they usually fly somewhere around here also, so again, make sure that you're using those grapple shots. And of course, you guys can also use this spot lastly, you know, on the last push. And that's pretty much it, guys. Alright, if the fight's going in somewhere around there and it's super chaotic, don't go into the fight. You know, just make sure that you're shooting them from here, and of course that you're also switching positions. What I like to do is I like to come from here all the way over here, and then I like to come all the way over here if there's no one on the high ground, and then I just like to shoot their healers. It works out very well. And that's pretty much it for my Widowmaker map guide on Dorado. Like I said, you know, this guide is mostly towards the newer players that are trying to learn positions for Widowmaker and all that stuff. And of course, this guide is also to polish up some of the positioning mistakes that some of you guys might be making. If you guys enjoyed the guide, drop a like, subscribe to join the Salvajee, also subscribe for more great content. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.